Hi guys, welcome to another video here on Real Life with Vanessa. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what's going on with me and what the new things are. I know you're not actually going to see my face today, but I am diamond painting, which is what I do when I'm pretty much here at the house and I'm just chilling. So today I started high intensity EMDR psychologic therapy to help deal with past traumas and intense fears. Today we worked on the fear of eating alone. Eating in general and eating alone. There's two different phases of this. As many of you know from my first video, well, I tried to stick it in my first video, but I wasn't able to. It was just too long. I was diagnosed with an eating disorder about, I'm going to say 8 months ago. I was diagnosed with ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. And I started restricting food to the point of only being able to ingest daily about 500 calories. Between going on a weight loss journey and just the complete and total fear of food hurting me. I don't know where that fear came from. It just came on like a light switch. And I went from eating normally to not being able to tolerate more than 500 calories a day, almost overnight. And it was rough. So I was immediately put into the eating disorders clinic. Thank God. My case manager through my insurance, my medical case manager, my psychiatric case manager, is a specialist in autism. And she knew right away that I was in eating disorder territory. And she had me evaluated. And I was very, very quickly diagnosed and began treatment for ARFID. At first, I didn't know what it was, what they were calling it. And about halfway through my treatment, one of my case manager for my eating disorders clinic said, okay, what we're treating here is ARFID. And once I knew what it was, I instantly began to search, research, and study on this issue, and instantly began to use the tactics that I was reading about in my research. I was exposing myself to food every day, different foods every single day. There was not a day that I was not exposing myself. Obviously, discreetly, nobody really knew about my eating disorder, only my sister and myself. My dad did not know because he's a boomer and he doesn't understand. So I didn't tell him. I didn't even tell him that I had an eating disorder. And within 6 months of high intensity treatment between drinking 3 or 4 ensures a day just to help with calorie intake and doing food exposure therapy every single day, I was able to get to a point now where I only drink the Ensure or the high calorie boost as needed and am considered to be in remission from my eating disorder. but I've recently began to relapse, and I'm catching it early. But I found out that I'm not fully relapsing. I'm actually scared of eating alone. I'm scared of eating in general, which is part of my RFID, but my main fear is of eating alone. The fear of choking, the fear of not having anybody near me to help me if I were to choke, causes me to causes my brain to tell me that anything that I'm going to eat when I'm alone is dangerous, and to not basically not eat. So all I'm able to tolerate really is dried mango, which is this right here. And just give me 1 second. So I can only tolerate a few pieces of that dried mango. I can tolerate a thermos full of Pepsi Zero, which is always full. And then I can tolerate a handful or two of honey roasted mixed nuts. That's about all I'm able to eat while I'm alone during the day, because that's just what I feel is safe. So that's kind of my safe food right now. And so today began the process of releasing that fear and telling my body that that fear is not valid. So today I met with an EMDR therapist who is trained in EMDR techniques, and we are starting to work on exactly that, freeing that fear and basically telling my brain that it is safe to eat alone, and that if you feel alone, to feel your favorite people around you. For instance, for me, that is my cousin Michael, my paternal grandmother, and my uncle. Those are my three most loved people in my family that I am the closest to, other than my dad. And Michael's wife. I'm extremely close to all of them. So today, we actually did an exercise where first part of the exercise was to trigger the calmness of them being around me, um, feeling them around me, feeling them hugging me, feeling them talking to me, feeling them, all of that. That was the first part of the exercise, which went, my body literally, I've never felt it sigh the way that it did. I wear a positioning vest on my wheelchair. Thank God I do, because my body literally melted into the seat. Literally, just the therapist like, wow. I heard her say, wow. She saw the melt. I took a deep breath, came out of it. She asked me, what did you feel? And I was able to express what I felt, the calmness, the relief, the joy, I even smelled what my uncle's house smells like in Florida. I heard my cousin's dog barking. All of that was vivid. And then she said, okay, so you can bring them with you wherever. When you feel nervous, when you feel anxious, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel that. Now, and then she asked me, what was the last thing you tried to eat on your own, and what did you feel? I closed my eyes just so I can focus and kind of like block out everything that's around me so that I can focus and follow what she was asking me. And I stated that it was Friday around 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10. I had tried to make myself a bowl of oatmeal. I had poured the oatmeal into the bowl, poured the milk. I heated it up. I was calm. I was not anxious. Very, very calm. Very, very, my body was okay. I sat down with my spoon. I took one bite, two bites, and on the third bite, I heard that voice tell me, "Don't eat it. It's gonna hurt you. It's dangerous. Don't eat it." I expressed the fear, the terror. Um, I depicted myself throwing the bowl, and she saw my body just tense up like to the max. She'd never seen it tense up that bad. And she instantly turned on the EMDR tapping, the vibrators, and said, "Okay, I want you now. As soon as I turn this on, you're gonna feel your family, your three most loved people, are gonna be in the room, and you're gonna just go through that that happiness, that relief, and you're just gonna let yourself go." 3, 2, 1. Turns on the vibrating. I feel it, and I instantly go into calm. And I say, "They're here. My grandma's right here next to me. You know, I've got my uncle's giving me a hug. My cousin's giving me a hug. Alexandra's giving me a hug. I'm in my uncle's house." And I start describing it all over again. And then she sees that I'm calm, so she shuts off the the vibrators. And then I'm just talking to her, and I'm kind of seeing my grandmother, and obviously she's not there. I'm not seeing things, but and then all of a sudden I'm saying, my brain, I feel my brain erasing her, and I say, "She's leaving, she's leaving." She turns on the vibrators again, and then I just get super emotional, not bad, not sad, but extremely happy. I start remembering, me being in her car, her taking me to college, going into the hospital and showing her my my graduation gown from when I received my AA and she was in the hospital, and all this stuff kind of came back to me, and I got super happy, and I was crying but I wasn't crying because I was sad. I was crying because I was happy. It was like a happy feeling, and that's how we ended the session. Um, but that was one of the most intense therapy sessions I've ever had in the time that I've had therapy since my family passed away. And I feel that it actually worked. I feel that I have that calm that I need in order to be able to eat. I have that tool now. I can do the tapping, the EMDR tapping on my legs, and kind of make myself safe, feel safe, and know that I have somebody around me when I'm eating. So that's one of the biggest pluses of today's therapy session, was how to bring them into my world, how to have my brain bring them back. Because a lot of what happens is my brain just erases them. With life and changing and things like that, your brain kind of erases people that have passed or whatever. And for me, my cousin obviously hasn't passed, my uncle obviously hasn't passed, so they're just super far away. They're in Florida, so I don't get to see them like I would like. So kind of getting my brain to bring them here is one of the things that I'm going to start using for mealtimes. So that's pretty much um, how my therapy session went today. Um, I feel I went in with an anxiety level of about 5, and I left with an anxiety level of like 2. So I went from high anxiety to basically stable in a matter of 45 minutes, which I have not done in a therapy session in a long time. In fact, I had a meeting with my case manager for developmental disabilities yesterday, and she brought up the fact that she's proud that I'm able to now, after so many years, begin to start processing the trauma. Because with EMDR is trauma response therapy. It's meant to help your brain reprocess trauma. So that's what I'm gonna start doing now. And thank God I'm stable enough to start doing that, because I never thought I was gonna ever get to that point with the amount of trauma response that I have. I completely dissociate, and thankfully I'm not fully dissociated in a long time. In fact, she brought up the fact that even though I dissociate, I'm able to instantly begin a tapping regimen that brings me out of the dissociation pretty quickly. So he's pretty much shocked at how well the practices that I'm doing at home are working, because she's like, because you're able to instinctively tap, that tells me that you are doing your homework, that you are implementing your therapy tactics, and I'm proud of you. I mean, to be able to sit through a therapy session and only lose you for maybe a minute to a minute and a half is huge from the time when we first started. So that was my therapy today, and kind of my time for the last couple weeks.